Well, how are we doing in chick land here? Since getting our batch of meat birds home, we've had 3 casualties since they've been in the brooder. So that puts us down at 39 chicks. We ordered 40, they shipped 42, is pretty common because they usually figure you're gonna lose some in transit, which we didn't, but we have lost 3 since they've been here. Obviously, we don't want to lose any chicks, but especially with this breed, it's not a huge surprise. I think it's time to step these guys up to a bigger feeder. They finished this last night. There we go. Chow down. Well, that'll take care of them for now. And I think I'll just leave this door open, give them a little fresh air floating through today. There's a lot to do today, so we better get to it. That's what's going on today on Farmertylerranch. This time of year, the cows aren't too excited about eating this hay. They go through a bale about once every 2 to 3 days, which for perspective is about half of what they consume during the winter months. Right now, a lot of their diet is made up of the grass that they're out there grazing on, but I still keep this feeder full just so they have the option if, you know, if the grass is getting a little short or whatever, then they've got another spot where they can come get food. A little bit later today, my plan is to move them into a new pasture that'll give them a lot of new grass. So I kind of want to make sure that their bellies are full when they go into this new pasture so they don't overeat on any clover or anything else that might be growing out there. Having cattle bloat on spring feed is very rare for me. I think it's only happened, I don't know, 1 or 2 times in my life that I can remember. But still, 1 or 2 times is more than I would like. So that's why I take this little extra precaution. Odds are it's probably not even necessary, but just because it has happened in the past, we're just trying to make sure it doesn't happen again. Oh man, look at all these guys. They must be hibernating in this aerator or something. And I don't think I have any spray, but I do have some of that concoction, the apple juice and boric acid, that is supposed to help eliminate the wasps, so maybe we'll mix up a batch of that right now. If you remember, I tried this last year and was not real impressed with the results or lack thereof, but everything that I'm reading says that you're better off to put this stuff out in the spring when the queens are going around making their nests. So we'll try it again. If there's no difference this year, then I'll probably give up on it. The concoction that I found was half apple juice, half water, and 1 to 3 teaspoons of boric acid. We're just going to do that much. Seem about right? And I'm just putting it in the water here so that it's easier to mix up. This actually should be a really good time to do this because right now all the puddles have dried up. So really the only source of water that the wasps have would be the water trough, which is a lot further away than this little poultry waterer that I've got kind of right where they're all congregated. So hopefully they get their water from this because it's got the sweetness from the apple juice and it's just more convenient. Good morning, kids. How are we doing? Before I move the cows into their new pasture, I got to thinking, I'd probably be smart to move these yearlings to a different area so that they're not sharing a fence line with the cows. Odds are, again, there would be no problems, but you know, if you can eliminate these sources of potential problems, I found it is good to do so. I'm needing to get these steers moved to the steer pasture. I'm sure the feed is getting pretty tall over there. But before I can do that, it would be nice to get my corral kind of put back together. I really would like to get weights on these guys though before they go over there, so that's kind of what I'm waiting on. This ought to keep them happy for several days, and my plan is within that time to get some more of my hot wire set up here in the larger portion of the field. I've been saving about half of it here. Nothing has grazed it this year yet, and it's stocking up and starting to look pretty good, but I don't want it to go too far where it all heads out and then it's just a bunch of stuff that they don't want to eat. So we are kind of getting to that point. So I need to get these divider wires set up here and just start moving them through here, I think. I'm sure some people are going to wonder, why am I not intensively rotationally grazing the cows? And the reason why we're doing, it's still a rotational graze, but it's, you know, I'll leave them in a pasture for a week or maybe 2 weeks, because not only do they have the grass, they've got the supplemental hay as well. The reason that I'm doing things that way is just because right now, while everybody has got either brand new calves or they're about to have calves, it makes rotational grazing a little bit more challenging, because a lot of times those calves are sleeping and they don't move over into the next paddock with the cows. Then you got a hot wire separating them and the mothers don't like it, and it's really just easier to do it this way for now, at least until the calves get a little bit bigger. Today is Tuesday, and if you're wondering why am I not working on getting this concrete poured, the plan is to do this Friday. I'm gonna have my dad help me do it, just because I have poured larger slabs like this by myself in the past, and you know, it's not the kind of thing that's that enjoyable to do by yourself. So I'm waiting on help, and that's the soonest that he could help me do this. So that is the plan for that. It's coming soon. Stay. Doing a pasture move with a bunch of baby calves in the herd requires a little bit of strategy. If I was to just open the gate right now, the cows would all run into the new field and the calves would probably just stay where they're at, and well, there's a chance the mothers may come back and lead them to the gate. We're not really sure. So the smarter way to do this that I've found is to go around and wake everybody up, get all the calves up on their feet, and then open the gates up, and then as the cattle move over to the gate to go into the new field, the calves will most likely follow. All right, Junior, you need to wake up. Wake up. He's awake. At the home ranch in total, we've got 7 calves, and combined with the calves that we have over at the winter pasture, we've got 21. So we're past the halfway mark. We are into the 20s. And I know some larger ranches get 20 calves in a single day, but for me, getting into the 20s is a pretty decent milestone. Wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey. Did you lay down in a bad spot here, guy? Oh no, you got it. All the calves are up and awake now, but of course, everybody's going the wrong way. So I'm hoping when I go down here and open the gate, they'll figure out what we're doing. Come, boss! I got them to look. Well, we got a pile of them, but it did not work as good as I was hoping. Still got a handful of mothers down there with their calves that I don't know what their deal is, but they do not want to come up here. So I'll try one time, just walking down there, getting behind them and kind of pushing them up. As long as everybody's up on their feet, they should all stay together, and you know, the cows know the deal. So we'll give this a try. If we start having problems, then I think I'll just back off, and you know, by the end of the day, they ought to figure it out. Why did you stop? Why did you stop? You're right here. You're right here. Well, that was exactly what I was hoping would not happen. But man, we were so close. It was hard to not just kind of walk him through the rest of the way. I don't know, there's something about fence braces that really mess with calves' minds, because I've seen that happen more times than I can count. They're walking up the fence line, everything's good until they get to the brace, and then they feel like they need to get through the fence, even though they've only got about 5 more steps before they're gonna be in the gateway. I don't know why they do that, but they sure do. I'm sure you noticed, how could you not? Number 26's udder is humongous. I swear she looks like she's got some dairy genetics. I know that she doesn't, but that's the kind of milk production that she is doing. That has gotten progressively worse every year. And the trade-off to that heavy milk production is that once the calf does get a little bit bigger and start nursing more, and it can utilize all that milk, she raises a huge calf. But in these early stages, I think that calf is only like 2 or 3 days old now, and he just cannot physically eat that much to keep up with her production. That's the kind of cow you wish would have twins, because man, she could actually feed them, but I don't think she ever has. And I know she looks a little uncomfortable right now, but once that calf starts nursing on all 4 quarters, she'll be doing a lot better. Let's get in. Come on, cow. Get in. Good girl. Where are these guys at? All this room and you guys are just staying in your little barn here, huh? He just wants to eat. He just wants to eat, don't you? Hungry too? Goodness. You guys, come on. Well, I guess I shouldn't have woke them up, because now they just think it's time to eat. Might be kind of hard to talk to you with all this going on. Anyway, yesterday I got out here with the rototiller and worked this ground up a little bit. The pigs had this pen terrible, just the potholes, and I mean, it was so rough out here. There was no way that I wanted to let these calves out into this pen with it being like that, because they wouldn't have hardly been able to walk out here. Would you guys stop? I'm sorry I woke you up. Goodness. I don't have a bottle. Just can't get away from them. So now that we got the ground work down, you can easily walk out here. We've given them access to this pen, which it's kind of a shame that we had to tear out all the grass that was here in order to do this, but that's just the way it goes. So I know they suggest that you always have water available for bottle calves. And to be perfectly honest with you, when they're real young, I don't do it because I've never seen one drink anything. They get what they need from the bottle that you give them. But now these guys are getting a little bit older, and you know, the weather is warming up a little bit, so I need to get some sort of water set up out here for them, and I believe I have the perfect trough. So I've got this old, I think this is a sheep water trough, so it's nice and low. The calves ought to be able to reach this no problem, but it is a little dirty, so I think we'll try to pressure wash this thing first and then we'll set it out for them. Honestly, I don't think they're really gonna drink much out of this, if any, but at least they'll have the option. While I got the pressure washer going, I may as well just finish the trailer real quick. Well, we're not all the way done, but it is a lot cleaner than it usually is. I mostly wanted to clean up these areas where I know I have to weld, like here in the corner, a couple of these cracks, over here. And I did that, but I just cannot keep this pressure washer running. It is unhappy for some reason, so I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, I don't really have time to mess with that today. So on to what we were doing before. While this is probably not the most convenient place for me to put this, I'm putting it here because I'm relatively sure that they will find it, because even though they have access to this entire pen, they seem to spend the majority of their time here laying in the straw in the shade. So sooner or later, one of them is going to touch a nose to this, and hopefully they just know what it is. And maybe if we hang around, we might see that happen. Well, kind of what I figured. He's really not too interested in it, but as I understand it, you should offer it to him, so that's what we're doing. You know, you guys can eat that grass too. Guess this is where the new mothers are hanging out. Both number 14 and number 59 had calves yesterday, I think. And I don't see them anywhere, but you can pretty well guarantee both mothers are here, the calves are here somewhere. Over the last couple days, we've had a lot of calving action out here at the winter pasture. I think in the last 2 days, we've had like 5 or 6 calves out here. And it was really all of the cows that I've been kind of expecting to calve pretty soon. You know, you could tell they were getting close. So with all those calves on the ground, we've still got 8 cows over here that need to go, and a couple of them are starting to look pretty close. I didn't really expect to find anything out here today, but still gotta go check. Our first calf was born on March 20th. Today is April 9th, I think. So roughly about 20 days since the first calf, which is awfully close to one heat cycle, 21 days, and we've already got 63% of our calves on the ground. So we're doing pretty good, but we're not done yet. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.